Let's do a quick recap about the game. Story, I don't know what's happening. Is narrator. Uh, this narrator could be narrator's brother from Darkest Dungeon 1, but I really don't know what's happening. Also, every character has a personal story, and I really don't know what's happening over there. That they'll clear it out in the next year or two till the game is out. That would be the story. I really don't know what I'm supposed to do. Why are we driving in a freaking stagecoach? Where the fuck are we going? We reached the mountain. I have no clue what is happening, okay? No bloody clue. That will be the story. Bugs and optimization. No fucking bugs, no glitches, no crashes. The game works smooth. Animations are phenomenal. Loading screens are fast. It's really optimized well. The game works extremely good. It's stupid to talk about time since I finished early access in 8 hours. And it's a roguelite. It has huge replay value. Difficulty. It's extremely hard game, but for the sake of it being hard, because there are no upgrades, there is no leveling, there's nothing at all, okay? Most of the fights consists out of RNG. And of course there is some knowledge in battle. You fight what you should cast on whom, when you should buff, when you should blind, when you should clear, and what consumables to equip. But you need to know the areas, or better say you need to play a lot. Difficulty, it's harder than Darkest Dungeon 1, but in a stupid way. You know, Darkest Dungeon was progressively hard till the point of extreme when you reach the Darkest Dungeon. And this is stupidly hard at the start, and it gets easier the more you move on. So complete opposite. Gameplay. I hate the stagecoach. I hate its movement. Okay, I hate those mechanics. It takes so much time to drag your ass from one encounter to the other. There's an ambush on every freaking corner. Those interactions that they're so bloody lacking, okay? They give like no rewards at all, if they give rewards, and penalties are so fucking huge that the best way to play is to freaking avoid them. Okay. What else consists from gameplay? That restock at the end right now. Alright. What does it consist of? You can you can recuperate health, clear stress a bit. You can buy some provisions to get the torch up for the stagecoach. You can invest that one stupid mastery point to buff a spell, okay? So you can deal more damage or clear more stress or have better healings and so on, but it's only one fucking mastery point. I finished the game in early access with only one mastery point. Only one upgrade on a single spell. That's just straight disgusting. That there is no sense of progression. Upgrades for a stagecoach to produce consumables along the way or clear stress and so on. That's about it. There's nothing else. Alright? Nothing else. That's it. This is a very cool part. I love art. Okay, I love creation. I love everything about it. But it's so simple, goddammit. It's extremely simple. This is like a downgrade from Darkest Dungeon 1, okay? Huge downgrade. It's like 1/10 of what Darkest Dungeon 1 is. In terms of content, in terms of everything. What now? Leveling, itemization. Leveling doesn't exist. You get those skill points to invest. They're very rare. It's like you're not leveling at all. You don't have progression. You don't feel progression when you play. Like in Darkest Dungeon 1, for example, when you can upgrade buildings, you can upgrade skills, you can upgrade spells, you can upgrade weapons, you can upgrade armor. You were dungeon crawling. Okay, there is no dungeon crawling in Darkest Dungeon 2. There's a fucking stagecoach. While in Darkest Dungeon, there was dungeon crawling where you were looting portraits, busts, and so on. And then with them, you could upgrade church for those stress heals, inn for stress heals, camp to camp better while in dungeon, to have better buffs while in dungeon. All of that is missing. Weapon upgrades, armor upgrades, skill upgrades, building upgrades. Like, not a single fucking thing exists anymore. It feels like it's a mobile version of the game. But then again, I have a feeling like this is only 10% of the game. I have a feeling they're gonna add twice the amount. I mean, I hope they're gonna add twice the amount of content from Darkest Dungeon 1 for Darkest Dungeon 2. For now, it feels like 1/10 of what Darkest Dungeon provides. The only similar thing was the combat. Everything else is so fucking bad. Okay, it's a huge downgrade. The only thing I hope for is for them to take like 2 more years and add content to the game, add upgrades, add loot, add bigger inventory, armor, weapons, rings, trinkets. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I really hope to see at least 10 times more content, okay? Because it gets repetitive very fast. I was already bored after 8 hours. Thank God I killed the boss after 8 hours. I wouldn't have strength to play this tomorrow. I really wouldn't have strength. And what is left? Music and sound. Okay, narrator is fucking great. As in Darkest Dungeon 1, music is dark. I love music too. Voice acting is really good. I got no complaints here. Art style, voice acting, atmosphere. Atmosphere is there. Alright. But it likes dungeon. Alright, it likes dungeon crawling. This game, I already called it. How did I call it when I was playing? God damn it. Darkest Chariot. Darkest Chariot. If I have to give a final score for early access, what I've seen so far, and I really believe it's only 10% of the entire game. I hope for the devs it's only 10% because this is a disaster. If it's only 10%, then it's good. If it's 10%, then it's 8 out of 10. If it's only 10% of the game. If this is like 90% of the game, alright, and they're just gonna add new enemies, but the concept will remain the same with a freaking chariot. Without dungeon crawling, without items, without leveling, without weapon armor upgrades. This game is like 4 out of 10. Alright, I really hope for them they're gonna do something about it. I really hope so. Because it would be a fucking shame. The game is beautiful. It's just straight beautiful, but it lacks content. So, if this is only 10%, it's 8 out of 10. If this is 90%, 80%, then it's 3 to 4 out of 10. That's what I think about the game. That would be the review in short, alright, for early access. From my head. No cuts, no edits, no bullshit. It took me 8 hours to finish this early access. Boss was cool. Shambler was there also as a mini boss. We killed them both, main boss and a Shambler. Enemies are cool. I like them. That's about it. That's about it. Is it worth the money? No, it's not. It's really not. In this state, for the content you get, I've been playing 8 hours. It's worth like $5-10 tops. It's very repetitive. It feels like Darkest Dungeon for tablets, for mobiles. It's a simplified, dumbed down version of Darkest Dungeon 1. But it's early access. They can change like 100 more things. It all depends on them now. I'll be disappointed if I don't see dungeon crawling. I'll be extremely disappointed if I don't see weapon, armor upgrades, skill upgrades, farming, looting. Okay. Choices and consequences, better dungeon interactions, if they plan to make dungeons. Better consequence and reward during curio interactions. There are no curios, though. I can call them curios. We're in Chariot, but those are not curios. I don't know what they are. I was expecting so much more. Okay, I was expecting so much more from this game. You can't even imagine what I expected. I expected like Darkest Dungeon 1 on steroids, okay? And we got a retarded Darkest Dungeon. We got Darkest Dungeon, you know, that was on steroids and now it's off. Alright. Like a freaking junkie. That's what we got. Junkie Darkest Dungeon. It sucks, you know, because it looks great. It looks great. It plays great. It's optimized. It's fast. It's responsive. The animations are brutal. But it just lacks content, okay? It really lacks content. What will happen? What they need to do? If they plan to keep the game like this with small changes, they need to reduce the difficulty so they get more audience from casual players. Because casual players won't play this terrifying hard game at all. They're gonna quit. And if they wanna keep players that intend to spend time like they spent in Darkest Dungeon 1, they need content, okay? Then they're gonna need to add 1,000 different things to keep everyone busy. Torch mechanic is out. Dungeon crawling is out. Upgrades are out. Leveling is out. None of that exists. Nothing. Rewards are out. Choices and consequences are out. Curios are out. Torch mechanics are out. They're there, but they're so fucking unimportant that it doesn't matter. Torch on a chariot. Garbage. Bullshit. I don't know that they want to experiment, okay? They had a perfect recipe from Darkest Dungeon 1. This graphics, Darkest Dungeon 1 system, with Darkest Dungeon 1 progression, and you make Darkest Dungeon 2, you can't fail. There is no way you can fail. They wanted to make something new. God help them now, okay? God help them now. That's all I'll say.